survive. Great city for Milwaukee.
Hello, everyone. I'm Greg Gumbel. Welcome to Day 2 of CBS Sports' continuing coverage of the 2003 NCAA Men's Basketball Championship Tournament. Once again, we remind everyone that CBS News is standing by to bring you the latest on the war in Iraq as events warrant. Meanwhile, we have 8 games today, 8 more in prime time tonight. When they conclude, we will have cut the field down to 32 teams. Joining me, as always, along the road to the Final Four is my partner, Clark Kellogg. You will hear a fair number of arguments and complaints about the number of teams from power conferences, but there's no denying the kind of day they had yesterday.
12-1 across the board, and not terribly surprising, Greg, when you look at the fact that most of those teams had the higher seed. The maybe mildly surprising part of that, the Pac-10 off to a 4-0 start yesterday.
Yeah, you mentioned the conferences at 12-1, and that's only because a couple of teams went head-to-head.
North Carolina State and California may be the best game of the day.
All right, here's a look at today's lineup. We will begin at 1:15 in Boston as Manhattan takes on Syracuse, the 3rd seed in the East. Shooting guard Luis Flores helped lead the Jaspers to their first NCAA tournament since 1995. The junior out of New York City has averaged 25 points a game. Syracuse also has a spectacular offensive star, Carmelo Anthony, the Big East Rookie of the Year, who averaged 23 points per contest. Also in the East bracket at 12:25 Eastern, number 10 Auburn meets number 7 St. Joe's down in Tampa. Then at 12:30 Eastern time, action gets underway in the Midwest as top seed Kentucky takes on IUPUI in Nashville. While down south in Birmingham, UNC Asheville plays number 1 Texas. The second wave of action tips in Boston at about 2:30 Eastern time with Penn and Oklahoma State. Down in Tampa, East Tennessee State challenges Wake Forest, the 2nd seed in the East. Then heading south to Birmingham, Purdue meets LSU in the South bracket, while Utah squares off against Oregon in Midwest action in Nashville. And Clark Kellogg now with the keys to today's slate of games.
Where are they, by the way? Hey, thinking about today, I think we're going to see pretty much the same form as we saw yesterday, where the majority of your higher seeds prevail.
All right. Well, right now there is a leak in the roof at the St. Pete Times Forum in Tampa. They've been working to repair it and to dry off the court. They expect that game to begin on time. Up next, we will look back at last night's first round action when we continue along the road to the Final Four here on CBS. Welcome back to the road to the Final Four. Lots of excitement last night as the tournament field of 65 was pared down to 48. Let's start with Tulsa against Dayton.
Dayton trailed most of the way until Brooks Hall hit this 3 to tie it up at 67. Then Dante Swanson right back at him. The hoop and the foul. Tulsa went on the win.
Colorado State and Duke off the inbounds. Colorado State's Brian Green, long jumper out of the corner. Duke's lead is down to 2. We'll watch Sheldon Williams get the putback here. A big one, too. Blue Devils with a 4-point lead. They held on to win it 67-57. Utah State and Kansas.
Tough game for Kansas. We're going to take a look at Nick Langford actually in the lane, finishing off hoop and harm, up 5. Late in the game now, Kansas up by 3. Cardell Butler's 3 hits the iron, and Kansas holds on.
Wisconsin, Milwaukee, and Notre Dame. Jason Frederick, 3-pointer. Wisconsin, Milwaukee is up 1, 69-68. Turin Francis will fight underneath. Watch him miss and then put back. Finally made it Irish. A late 1-point lead. Gus Johnson in the final seconds.
8 to go. High drama in Indy. Tucker down the lane, lays it up. Bang! Oh, he missed the layup. Holy mackerel!
70-69, the final score. Panthers were just crushed. We saw teams come close to pulling off upsets last night. The better seeds prevailed. What's going to happen today?
Well, I think you're going to see the better seeds prevail, and I don't know if we'll have as close a call across the board as we did in games yesterday. I think the higher seeds will win a little more comfortably today.
Will a 16 seed beat a 1 seed?
Sometime down the road.
Like 5-10 years or so.
Hopefully we'll still be around here.
The road to the Final Four here on CBS will continue after this word from your local station.
This is CBS, America's most watched network.
welcome you to a second day of first-round action in the NCAA tournament on CBS. The road to the Final Four makes a first-round stop in the beautiful city of Boston. And inside the Fleet Center, we welcome the Jaspers of Manhattan, seated 14th against the Orangemen of Syracuse, who come in with a number 3 seed. First of 2 first-round games here today. Oklahoma State and Penn also meet in the East. The other 2 first-round East games in Tampa. Here are the men who will start the game on the left for the Manhattan Jaspers, who come in with a record of 23-6. Jared Johnson, Benton, Luis Flores is the key. He averages 25 points. Kenny Minor, Justin Jacquet. Carmelo Anthony, Rookie of the Year. Craig Forth, Hakeem Warwick, Queth Duaney, and Jerry McNamara are the starting 5. And let's go back to CBS News for a special report. Here's Dan Rather.